Hello, Jack.
Oh, Ben?
You're the fellow who invented the word or the phrase beat generation, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to ask you some questions. Don't mind not answering them if you don't want them. First, I read in one of your books a very interesting statement. You said that, quotes, everyone feels like a zombie, and somewhere at the end of the night, the great Dracula figure of modern disintegration and madness, the devil, if you will, is running the whole thing. Now, I like that because that's the way I've felt about the world often, but I'd like to know if our devils are the same. Who's this devil?
Well, that's a quote. A character says that.
You don't believe there's a devil running the world? Well, I'm bitterly disappointed.
The devil is defeated.
He's been licked by the beats?
No, by God.
God licked him.
Sure.
Well, about God, you made a statement that also fascinated me. You said that, let me get this, put my glasses on and get it accurate. You said that your philosophy you described as being, quotes, Catholicism mixed with gin. In what
Gin?
proportions?
G-I-N?
G-I-N. That's what it said on a tape recording interview I heard of yours. In what proportions, Jack, and is the gin improved by this mixture? What did you mean by liquor and religion? Reality and spirituality, or what?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't understand your question, though.
Well, let's jump to another question.
How did the mixture improve? You mean that the gin get better?
Did the gin get help by being religious, or did the religion get help by being full of gin? Which is improved?
I don't know. That's a
phony question. Non sequitur, right. Now, let's go back. You boys, I gather from having read your very fine book, which I bought because I thought it was about drama critics. It's not drama bums, it's dharma bums.
Oh, dharma, yeah.
In this book, you seem to have a wonderfully good time, and you seem to have it by turning your back on all the things that the bourgeoisie have to contend with. What are the things you most like to turn your back on? Though you say the devil has been defeated, who are the devils that make you turn your back? Do you like politics?
No.
You like the Republican Party?
I like Eisenhower. As a man.
Great man. Huh? He's a great man?
Nice man.
Why you think he's a nice man?
Well, he's the kind of man that, you'd like to shake hands with. He's a nice man. You know he's a nice man. I don't know anything about politics.
Mr. Eisenhower, but I don't think he's a great man or even an intelligent man.
Probably is. The American people probably don't realize what he's doing.
What's he doing?
I don't know. We'll figure it out in 50 years. 50 years you can look back.
I think he's one of the leaders of the beat generation. I think he's turned his back on us, just as you boys have.
No.
Probably the same reason. Are you going to vote the next election?
I've never voted.
Well, how can you think of any one politician is better than another? Wouldn't that lure you into casting a ballot?
I shouldn't be proud of never having voted, but I never have. I don't know what's the matter.
I can understand. I only voted once and under protest.
You too?
Yeah, once. For the wrong guy.
Where?
Well, Roosevelt. You like Ike, you think he's adorable. What do you think of his pals? There's a fellow called Dulles who creates...
Well, he spent a whole lifetime learning all the techniques of...
He's great, too?
He's a great technician.
Yeah. At what?
Battenberg? Running the Secretary of State office, running the...
You boys have had your backs turned.
No, I don't agree.
Happily,
I don't agree with my confrères, about politics.
Oh, they're against. And
they have the same ideas you have.
They have, huh?
All of them.
Bad ones, huh?
No. There's no reason to criticize anybody, actually.
You're,
We're all going to go to heaven.
We are?
All of us.
Me too?
Everything, even the microphone.
I like that.
You too.
Okay,
and your cigar.
I couldn't do without it. Jack, have you ever been in trouble with the government forces that you like so well? I gather not, because you seem too full of human kindness. Has the government ever got sore or interested in the beat generation? You think there'll ever be a time when you boys will be hailed up and you'll have to swear that you never belonged to the beat generation or belong to it now? You think they'll ever get after Buddha?
Gee, they can't get to him.
They can't? Well, they keep trying to get to a lot of things that they can't get to.
Buddha, you know, his lifetime, nobody ever laid a hand on him.
You think he's safe? You think it's safe worshiping Buddha? You think you boys are out of the reach of our law enforcers by worshiping Buddha?
I don't only worship Buddha.
Whom else?
I worship Christ, and I worship Allah, and I worship Yahweh, who is the Father. I worship them all.
Where did you get this worship instinct? Because I read your book.
Well, I was born.
I think it's real. I think you really worship.
In a religious home.
I see.
know.
Well,
my father was very sensitive. And
I was pleased to read in your book that sex didn't exist outside of the realm of worshipers too.
What?
I said worshipers do not necessarily not go in for sex, which is usually the rule.
Well, yeah, they should.
They should. You think sex helps worship along?
No, I mean, both are necessary.
They're not
including
separate.
the jinn.
The jinn, huh? You boys love life, providing you don't have to be hurt by it. Is that one of your ideas?
No, we've been hurt.
Who hurts you?
Hunger. I've been starving many times on the road and everything.
Yeah. Did you... You've written a lot of books, haven't you? I hear you got about 4 or 5 books that haven't been published yet.
That's right.
And you write 10 hours a day?
No, I've been writing since I'm 11.
11.
But, I mean, I just went through a furious 3 years when I thought I'd be like Shakespeare and write 3 masterpieces a year.
Well, that's not being very back-turning when you write 10 hours a day and 3 masterpieces a year. What makes they beat people if they are the people in your last book, the drama bums? What makes them climb... Dharma bums, okay. What makes them climb mountains, look at their navel and yell, Why do they go in for mysticism?
They don't look at their navels.
They don't? Whose navel do they look at?
Yeah.
I read in your book there's a new cult called, not cult, but a new word called yam. What's that?
Yab yum.
Yab yum.
That comes from Tibet. It's an ancient ceremony.
It pleased me, this new thing, because I remember it in my youth.
It's old.
A lot of boys and one girl. Is there any...
No, one man and one girl and priests chanting around, beating on drums.
One man and one girl?
Yeah, that's all in the middle.
I read a party that you described with, I think it was 5 men and 1 girl.
Well, that was a sloppy yab yum.
Sloppy. It should be just 1 and 1?
Yeah.
That's depressing.
It is.
Because I figured out, being an amateur psychiatrist, that had something to do with homosexuality.
Oh, no.
It hasn't.
No.
This is not a personal attack. Having a good look at your puss, I wouldn't even think of making such a suggestion.
That's one thing I'm not, is homosexual.
Have you an opinion or an attitude about homosexuals?
They can do what they want. They should.
Are they productive and constructive people like the rest of the world?
I could name you names.
Yeah. We will not go into
Great,
that.
creative,
Yeah.
including Socrates.
Yeah, Socrates. Who else? My God. Julius Caesar. Like Lycurgus, the head of Sparta. I knew them all.